1, 2, 3, action.
You're watching charlottenc.tv.
That was awesome. That was awesome. They did it better than I could have done it. That was great. Hello friends, welcome to charlottenow.tv. My name is Sam Matero, your host and producer, and I want to welcome you to the show. Thank you for tuning in and encourage you to get involved with charlottenow.tv. Why should you? Because, well, you know, we're doing a cool thing with alternative media here in the Queen City, telling stories of people that are making a difference in this community, making Charlotte the awesome place to live and do business that we know it to be. So that said, let's get going with our next story. Today, we are going to be talking about a not-for-profit group here in the Charlotte metro area that provides lawn care, lawn cleanup, tree trimming, weeding, things like that, services for people that really don't have the capacity to handle it at that particular moment in their life. Today, we're going to learn about 1 Yard Away. They've been serving the population of the Charlotte metro area for just under a year now, and we're going to learn all about their not-for-profit, what they do, why they do it, how they do it, and we're going to meet some of the volunteers on a job site in South Charlotte. But before we get started today, I want to take a moment and give a shout out to our sponsor for this episode of Community Connections, our good friends at Life Connections. We'll take a quick sponsor break here to learn more about Life Connections, and when we return, we're going to take a look at 1 Yard Away. I'm Sam Matero. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Community Connections on charlottenow.tv. This episode of Community Connections is brought to you by our friends at Life Connections of the Carolinas, and I couldn't think of a better partner to have in this endeavor because the great folks at Life Connections really exemplify the spirit of Community Connections, which is great people making Charlotte a great place to live. Simply put, they help to keep kids out of jail and keep families connected. And they do this by providing programs and services that are designed to, quote, develop adolescents and strengthen homes. They call these the DASH programs, and they include programs focused on helping families better their best, supportive mentoring and counseling programs, restorative justice programs, and even vocational education and re-entry programs, which offer unique learning environments and opportunities for a new, productive life after incarceration. Be sure to check them out online at lifeconnections.us and learn more about this agency and how they may be able to help you, your family, or someone you love. Support their efforts if you wish, and even volunteer if you are so inclined.
I am the president and founder of 1 Yard Away. We're a nonprofit outdoor home care company that does basic lawn and landscape maintenance for people who are in need. So a need might be because of hospitalization or injury, surgery, loss of a loved one, or deployed military. We help disabled veterans as well.
We're in South Charlotte with Chen Carell and out on a job site here for 1 Yard Away. Chen, thanks for the background on the organization. Give us an overview of the various services that you guys offer and what it is that we're looking at on this site today.
Today we came out and did a little mulch for these people. That's a typical thing that we do. We come out, pull weeds, trim shrubs. We started out front with a 15-yard pile of mulch, and with 20 volunteers, we got it all knocked out in about an hour and a half.
Tell us a little bit about the inception of this.
What really set it off was I had a neighbor who was in need, and he found out that he had terminal cancer, and his yard was starting to deteriorate pretty quickly. So I went over and asked him if I could help, and that's how it started.
How long's the organization been around?
May will be 1 year. We've helped about 50 families, 50 different families. We've had over 600 hours of community service and 14 different service events where we went out and helped people. That's Susan Haas and Ken. So they needed help after a recent surgery, so they kind of fell behind on being able to do some of the work. So we wanted to come out and help them out, help them get caught up.
Lovely. I am in the backyard of a beautiful home in South Charlotte with Susan Haas. Tell us a little bit about who you are, who your family is, and your circumstance here that led you to the fine folks at 1 Yard Away, what they did for you.
My daughter Lexi, you met before, has a severe form of cerebral palsy, and in the fall of last year, right before Thanksgiving, she had to have emergency brain surgery, which was 10 days in the hospital, followed by several weeks of IV antibiotics, of me and my husband getting up around the clock, giving her the antibiotics. And then of course, we're in the middle of the holidays, and this is usually when we're getting our yard ready for the spring. So this spring, I just like, this is really overwhelming to try to do this, just the two of us. And another nonprofit actually told us about Chen and his group and gave us his contact, and we called him, and he's like, yeah, we'll be happy to come help you mulch your yard. So we just ordered the mulch and had it, and he brought all these wonderful volunteers, and within a couple of hours, our entire backyard was remulched, and it's just fantastic.
Well, the mulch keeps moisture on the ground. It keeps the weeds from growing, and it's to keep your ground from drying out too fast and from the weeds growing and taking everything over.
It means an awful lot. We've had a very tough year. Lexi had 2 brain surgeries at the end of October. I've had a lot of health challenges this year, and this is just something I can't do anymore. And I could let Susan do it all, but that's probably not a good idea.
Yeah, so good people coming to help your family out.
This is unbelievable. Yeah, totally unexpected too.
Oh, really? Now,
Yeah.
why do you say unexpected?
Oh, I mean, it just came up last month or so that that we were made aware of this. We didn't say, hey, do you need help? And it was like, we kind of do.
I got you. It's hard to sometimes ask for that too,
I would never have asked. Yeah. No.
So they made it easy.
They made it easy. They sure did. Yes.
Give me some success stories, and maybe some things that warmed your heart in the time that you've been doing this.
I had a neighbor who had back surgery, and we had he was unable to clean up his yard. So we had a small volunteer event and went out and trimmed his shrubs, put down mulch, and they were really grateful. It's one of those things that gets neglected when you're dealing with hospitalization and surgeries and stuff like that, or just recovery. You can't go out and spread mulch when you're hurt.
Any word of advice to folks that might be, maybe struggling a little bit with picking up the phone and asking for help?
Yeah, I mean, we're obviously not, we don't have a chronic need for help, and we're not destitute. We're not the people that often are given help, and we're often are people that would rather help than ask for help, and that's hard. It's hard to have it. I've run a nonprofit for years myself, and it's hard to have that turned around and then say, hey, now I need it. But it's just so worth it. It's just so nice to feel not just the help, but just to be embraced by these people in your community.
She is humble, lovely lady. My new friend Amy here, who is Chen's wife, significant other, and partner in the not-for-profit organization. Amy.
Hello.
Wow, this is a pretty cool thing you guys are doing for the people of Charlotte.
It's really cool.
It really is. Tell us what this means to you. It's a big commitment. Running a not-for-profit in and of itself is a big commitment, and then getting out here and working, and it's a lot.
Absolutely. It was a risk that we took a little over a year ago. He was a full-time machinist and quit his job to do this. And I'm just so proud of seeing what it's become over the course of the last year and a half or so, and just can't wait to see it grow, and it means so much to my family. My daughters are actively participating in our volunteer events. It's just amazing to see.
We are a 501c3. We're designated as a community charity. We get our clients, basically, they go on the website and ask for help through the website. And we get all our funding through donations.
My name is Angie Cox, and we met Chen and his lovely family through our dance family at Showcase Dance Center, and he had the idea of wanting to help people with their yards, and I just thought that was a fabulous opportunity to be able to volunteer and give back to our community as a family. I have a 13-year-old and a 12-year-old. They love being outside as much as we love being outside, and so I just thought that was a great opportunity to give back with all four of us being able to do it together.
This is sort of more like a return to the way we used to do things, right?
Yeah. Community.
It's the community.
And that's what
of
this
coming
is.
Together and saying, you know, in the small town where I grew up, you know, if your trash cans were left out, somebody would knock on your door and say, hey, can I help you? Is there something you need? You know, today you're more likely to get a letter from your homeowners association. so it's
You're
not
in violation.
Just, yes, so it's just nice to have people who are like, hey, we're here for you. We understand, you know, what you're going through. We can't, we aren't doing it, going through what you're going through, but we can get it, and we can see how this is necessary. And thank you. You know, they made such a difference in just a couple of hours.
That's
huge
awesome.
difference. Yeah.
Why 1 yard away? 1 yard away from what?
1 yard away from our neighbor. So it basically came from my daughter. It was a joke a couple days before that. She said, you know, Dad, our lawn is only 1 yard wide. And of course, I thought that was hilarious. And then it was a few days later, we were talking about a name for this organization, and she said, what about 1 yard away? Because we're only 1 yard away.
That's awesome. I love it. I love it. Now, off camera, you kind of teared up a little bit and got emotional, I can imagine. Was that tied to maybe a specific story or two that you've run into in the 50+ endeavors that you guys have gone out into the Charlotte metro area and help people? Tell us a little bit about why you got so emotional.
Yeah, it's his heart. It's the constant servant. He has been able to just reach out to people who are afraid to ask for help. People who are really, you know, experiencing loss of life, of loved ones, and he's able to not only console them, but to be there and work through that moment when they just need somebody to be there and help. So I'm just beaming with pride.
I'm Zuri Cox. The reason I'm here is because my mom brought me, and my best friend's parents are the one who run this place, and it's good to come out here and help.
That's awesome. How about you?
My name's Leah Cox, and I came out here because Grace Correll was on my dance team last season, and she's just an amazing person, and I love helping out with what her parents are doing.
You have a lovely, lovely home. You really do. And a lovely smile. Yeah.
He's a super smart kid, and it's just this terrible physical issues.
I hear you.
Right, Lex?
Well, it's wonderful that your parents care and give you this beautiful home. You have a beautiful dog.
Yeah, I got a couple of dogs, several great siblings too.
All right, honey.
Shaking her. Yeah.
Shake your hand.
She's a butt pincher.
You know what? I get that everywhere I go. So that's okay. It's okay. All right. It's nice to meet you, dear.
Thank you.
Okay. So how does this make you feel meeting the family, seeing where their situation is and their need, and come out here on a beautiful day to help them out? How's that make you feel?
I think it's awesome. I love helping people, and especially to be outside all day with people I love.
It's humbling to have such an opportunity too, isn't it?
Thank you, it is,
You know,
yes.
Great. Well, God bless you doing what you're doing for the community. And tell people how to get a hold of you.
Oh goodness, so go to www.oneyardaway.org. That's the best way to get a hold of us. We have all the information on the website. Volunteer events are posted, information about how to donate or how to even request service.
Well, there you have it. Another episode of Community Connections in the digital bag, as they say. Again, my name is Sam Matero, coming to you from my studios just outside Matthews, beautiful Matthews, within the Charlotte metro area. And I want to take a quick moment before we close this out to give a shout out to Mr. Jonathan for his help in manning the camera on this episode. A nice young man who I actually met him at church over the past couple months. And one day I got the call about the opportunity to shoot this episode. And I knew that I was heading out after the service. And Jonathan was in service with me. I said, hey, what are you doing afterwards? You want to come out and man a camera and learn a little bit about Charlotte Now and meet some cool people? And he's like, sure. So thank you, Jonathan. You can check out his thoughts and learn a little bit more about him with a little extra on our YouTube channel. Speaking of our YouTube channel, our Facebook page, all that stuff on the interwebs, make sure that you go there, like, share, and subscribe, and visit us at our website at charlottenow.tv. Let us know what is happening in your part of the Charlotte metro area, cool stories that you think we should cover, great people that you think we should meet and interview. And if you would like to learn the digital media arts, or maybe you're experienced in the digital media arts and want to help Charlotte Now grow, we do have opportunities. We're looking to add members to our team, and we have some pretty cool initiatives going here with vocational training within the realm of digital media production. So hit me up. You can find me on Facebook, Sam Matero. Get in touch with me through our contact page at charlottenow.tv, and I'll share with you what we have going on. Hopefully, we will hear from you very soon. Again, thank you so much for watching charlottenow.tv. This has been another episode of Community Connections. I'm Matero. I'm out. Peace.